Clippers is a hand pruning business. We prune shrubs and small trees. My background before I started this business was working in the business world in New York City. I had started or revamped companies or divisions of companies, so business has been my background. And I decided that when I finally had children that I wanted to stay home and raise those kids. So I stopped my career, but never stopped my interest in running a business. And I discovered the gardens. My interest in gardening was not the entire garden and not the flowers, as many people are attracted to. I immediately became interested in the shrubs and the trees and inherited a pretty sad garden when we moved outside the city and learned how to rejuvenate and make our plant material beautiful. And it was very creative, and you had to learn a lot of information about each individual shrubs and how they grow. And I tortured my own landscape for a long time and then got discovered by a landscape architect who I was helping put up a playground in a community that didn't have one, and immediately offered to do all the shrubs and the trees. And then she asked if I would work for her every Tuesday, so that's where my pruning career took over, but certainly not the business. And I became so interested in pruning and everything that it entailed, being outside, working with other people, collaborating in a garden. And unlike any other job I had ever had in my life, gardening gives you an immediate feedback. You start at 9, and by 11, you have transformed the landscape. And it's very rewarding. And so Yankee Clippers started out being a small company. And over the years, and with my interest in learning and my interest in gardening, I started to join garden clubs. I was asked to be on the council for the New York Botanic Garden. And again, my interest was always pruning, but there's so much to learn. And Yankee Clippers started to grow and grow. And when I moved down to Maryland, I didn't think I'd start the business all over again, but did, because I really missed it. The minute spring hit, I had to go out there. And through just luck, and I think half of life is luck, I ended up with an employee before I started the business. Finding good employees is hard to do. So when one lands in your lap, better start a business around it. And Yankee Clippers has been in the DC area, servicing Maryland, DC, and Virginia. And all we do is pruning. I have no competitors. All other gardening services either start with lawn mowing, and then they'll turn your shrubs and trees into little circles, squares, and triangles, which we don't do. We undo that. Or it's, design or garden maintenance. I just take pruning and I split it off of everything else because that's all I wanted to do. And I'm passionate about it. And when you're passionate about it and when you love doing it and you start doing, and I hire people on a part-time basis so that they can fit this wonderful gardening business into their lives. If they're taking care of kids or parents or only have a certain amount of time during the day. And there are 35 of us. And the business has been very, very successful. About 70% of our business is residential and 30% is commercial. I do very, very little marketing. Mostly we just answer the phone and say, yes, we'll prune your garden. Which
so
is
it's word of mouth from your customers?
It's all word of mouth. What we're going to do is offer workshops teaching people how to prune. And my only mailing list was my own customers. So you think, well, that's stupid. I'm teaching my customers how to do what we do. But many people do not enjoy gardening. They don't have the time. Many people work, especially in this area. And they're just not interested. So, but it isn't even one. But it's important. Even if you do not want to take care of your own garden, which is a huge financial investment in your assets, you should know how your garden should be pruned so that the people that you're hiring are not damaging your shrubs, but enhancing your shrubs. So we started to do workshops, and attending these workshops were lots of our customers who then said, oh my gosh, this is more complicated than I thought. When are you coming to our house next? We look at the structure of the shrubs, and if the structure is beautiful, the shrub is beautiful. So no two people will ever prune the same way. No two artists will ever paint the same picture the same way. So there's a lot of learning involved and a lot of experience involved. We're about $500,000.
That's unbelievable.
And we're dealing with shrubs. Actually, I just deal with customers once. I review their garden with them. We come out with a game plan. We establish objectives, and often I never see them again. It's just email communication or a few phone calls.
I love the fact you have no competition.
Well, you know, what pleased me is after I was in business for about 2 years, I saw some of the landscape companies. I saw their trucks. I don't have trucks, but I saw their trucks, and they would say, hand pruning. I thought, oh my God. But then I watched them work, and they're just damaging the shrubs by hand. We're growing 10% a year.
That's
and we had one flat year, and that was 2009. But it just, you know, because everybody needs us. Everybody needs us. You can't drive down the street without cringing. So when people give me their monthly schedule, and I allow them to create their schedule, I have to work around their schedule. Makes a little bit more work for me, but it gets me people that I love working with. And so that allows them to stay away from driving to certain areas they don't want to drive to. However, to make it worth their while, the further out of our core territory we go, the more we charge our customers, and we charge by the hour. I feel that, you know, the fairest way to work is you pay me for the hour that we work, and I will give you a good hour's worth of work. I don't deal with proposals. We can easily stay within a budget. You want to work, just give us $500, we'll give you X number of hours. The best business in the world, which we're going to ease into, is weeding. Nobody weeds. Nobody weeds. And I even have a name for it, weekly weeder. No, the gardening companies, they don't train their people. They'll come and they'll pull out all your perennials and think that they're weeding. It's such a healthy business. I'm pruning 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. Well, now I'm trying to cut down on that, but you know, you can't get a healthier business than that. You're outside. There are so many different jobs, though, in pruning that, you know, there's the cleanup, and there's the bagging, and there's the tree work, and there's the fine pruning, and there's the general pruning, so that in the summertime, when I have to hire a lot of extras, which are usually graduate students or college kids looking for work, because I pay better than they can get on, you know, other places, they fit right in, and you just start them on the more physical, less delicate, less. And the other great thing about my business, it requires zero investment. All I have to have is a pair of pruners, and a phone, and a computer. I don't have to have a building. My offices are in my house. I now have 2 office assistants that help me with the business because it's grown too much for me to do by myself. But based on our method of pruning, which is unlike any other company, because they don't teach their employees. They don't know how to do what we do. It's not that what we do is rocket science. It allowed me to go to the soccer games when I had to go to the soccer games. When you have your own business and you're running it out of your home, 24 hours is your time frame as to when you could work. And
which can be good or bad.
Well, it can be good or bad, but you know, you can always get whatever has to be done. You're not in a 9-to-5 job. And a good thing as a parent is my kids slip in and out of my business seamlessly, so they're never without work.